We've all been there, right? That tense disagreement, the argument that just seems to spiral and go nowhere. Conflict feels like it's just a part of any relationship. But here's a question. Does it have to be destructive? What if it could actually be a way to bring us closer?
You know, what's really fascinating is that decades of research show us something pretty surprising. The happiest, most successful couples, they aren't the ones who never fight. Not at all. They're the ones who've learned how to fight well. So the real key isn't getting rid of conflict, it's getting the skills to navigate it. And the best part is, this is a skill that absolutely anyone can learn.
So, that's what we're going to do today. We are opening up the toolbox. We're going to walk through 4 powerful evidence-based strategies that are designed to do way more than just stop an argument. These are real, practical tools you can start using right away to turn those tough conversations into chances for real connection.
All right, our first tool is all about spotting the destructive patterns before they completely take over a conversation. The brilliant relationship researcher Dr. John Gottman calls them the 4 Horsemen, because if you let them run wild, they can actually predict the end of a relationship.
The first horseman is criticism. Now, it's really important to know this is not the same as a complaint. See, a complaint is about a specific thing, an action, but criticism, that's a full-on attack on your partner's character. It's the difference between saying, "I'm upset you didn't take out the trash," and saying, "You're so lazy, you never help." One is about a thing that happened, the other is an attack on who they are as a person.
Okay, let's look at this side by side. On the left, you see a healthy complaint. It focuses on a specific action and uses an I statement. I was scared when you were running late. But look at the right. The criticism uses those big absolute words like never, and then goes straight for a character attack. You're just selfish. It takes one single event and blows it up into a statement about their entire personality.
Next up is contempt. And listen, this one is the most dangerous of them all. Seriously, this is any behavior that screams disgust or superiority. We're talking sarcasm, eye-rolling, mocking them. The research on this is crystal clear. Contempt is the single greatest predictor of divorce. It's something you absolutely have to get rid of.
So how do you fight something like contempt? Well, the antidote isn't just about avoiding the negative. It's about actively, purposefully building the positive. It's about creating what's called a culture of appreciation in your relationship. This means making a habit out of small, frequent acts of gratitude, affection, and respect. That builds up this amazing emotional buffer that really protects your connection. The third horseman is defensiveness. And oh man, this one is so common, especially when we feel criticized. Our immediate instinct when we feel attacked is to defend ourselves, right? We make excuses, maybe we even try to flip the blame. But here's the thing, it almost never works. All it does is send the message, hey, this problem isn't me, it's you, which is like pouring gasoline on a fire. The antidote here is so simple, but it is incredibly powerful. Take responsibility, even if it's just for a tiny, tiny piece of the problem. Just saying something like, you know what, you're right, I could have handled that better, can instantly stop a fight from escalating and actually open the door for a real conversation.
And finally, our fourth horseman is stonewalling. This is what happens when one person just completely withdraws. They shut down, they stop responding. Now, on the outside, it might look like they don't care, but what's really happening on the inside is a totally different story. It's usually a self-defense mechanism because they feel physiologically overwhelmed or flooded. Their body is literally in a state of fight or flight, and having a rational discussion is pretty much impossible at that point. So because stonewalling is a reaction to being flooded, the antidote is actually pretty straightforward. You need to calm your body down. This means you have to hit the pause button on the conversation. You both agree to take a break, give it at least 20 minutes, and go do something calming by yourself. But here's the crucial last step. You have to agree on a time to come back to the conversation once you're both feeling more regulated. Okay, so spotting the 4 horsemen is all about managing what we do on the outside. But where do those behaviors even come from? Well, that brings us right to tool 2, which goes a level deeper. We're going to shift from what we do to what we think, because so often the real conflict gets started by the story we're telling ourselves in our heads. This is a great model from cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. It's called the ABC model. So A is the activating event. Your partner comes home late. C is the consequence. You feel super angry and start a fight. But the real magic, the part we often miss, is B, our beliefs. The event itself didn't make you angry. The thought, they don't respect me, is what poured fuel on that fire. And this right here is the whole point. You can't always control the event. You can't control what happens. but you have an incredible amount of power over your interpretation of it. So the next time you feel that flash of anger, just pause. Challenge that first automatic thought. Ask yourself, wait, what's another possible story here? Maybe they got stuck in terrible traffic. Maybe their phone died. That simple question can completely change your emotional reaction. So, once you've started to manage your internal thoughts, it's time for Tool 3, learning to speak a new, much more constructive language. This is all about swapping out those old patterns of blame with a new way of communicating that's clear, assertive, and doesn't put the other person on the defensive.
Honestly, one of the biggest, most powerful shifts you can make is moving from you statements to I statements. Think about it. When you start a sentence with you always or you never, the other person's defenses go up immediately. But when you start with I, as in I feel frustrated, you're keeping the focus on your own experience. You get to express exactly how you feel without attacking your partner.
A really fantastic framework for this is called nonviolent communication, or NVC. It's like a simple 4-step recipe. First, you state a neutral observation, not a judgment. I see dirty dishes in the sink. Second, you state the feeling that creates in you. I feel frustrated. Third, you express the universal need behind that feeling, because I need order and support. And finally, you make a clear, actionable request, not a demand. Would you be willing to wash them? It's a roadmap for a much better conversation. Okay, so we've covered how to manage our own reactions and how to speak more constructively. But that's only half of the equation, right? Our final tool tackles the other side. And honestly, it might be the most powerful one of all. Learning to listen not just to reply, but to truly, deeply understand. This is called reflective listening. So often, during a conflict, we're not really listening. We're just reloading, right? We're waiting for our turn to talk, to make our point. Reflective listening flips that whole dynamic. Your only goal is to make your partner feel seen and heard. You're not trying to solve the problem yet. You're just trying to understand their world for a moment.
And this quote, this captures the ultimate goal of every single tool we've talked about. When you can truly listen to understand, the entire conflict shifts. It stops being me versus you, and it becomes us versus the problem. You're not opponents anymore. You're teammates, working together on a shared challenge.
Look, putting all 4 of these tools into practice, spotting the horsemen, rewiring your thoughts, speaking a new language, and truly listening, it's a journey. It takes real conscious effort and a lot of patience with yourself and your partner. And if you find yourself struggling or you just want some guidance applying these tools, the team at Providers for Healthy Living is here to support you. You can visit the website you see on the screen to learn more about how getting professional support can help you and your loved ones build these skills in a structured, safe, and really supportive environment. So, as we start to wrap up, I want to leave you with a question to think about. Considering these tools we've just gone over, what is one recurring conversation in your life that you could maybe approach a little differently? How do you think shifting your approach might change the outcome? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. If you found these tools helpful, please do us a favor and give this video a like, and maybe share it with someone who you think could benefit. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more explainers just like this one. Thanks so much for watching.